Alright everyone, Cody here. So I've been modeling chicken hole base in Minecraft. So I've got a super flat world here, which I've been assembling the base, roughly a scale model of it. The scale did sort of break down as I was building it, but it's close. You can get an idea. So here's the chicken hole. Looks like a very fat version of the chicken. So yeah, it's not perfect, but I'm hoping that at least gives you an idea of what I'm planning. So let's head on in. Say hi to RoboCody. So this is the main airlock here. After parking your vehicle or coming in from an EVA, you would come on in here, open the airlock. You would turn on the blower, vacuum the dust and stuff off of your suit, pressurize the chamber, take off your suit, store it here. If you are a guest or want to stay in the emergency or this extra part of the habitat for any reason, you just go this way. This portion of the base is not pressurized. That's also a safety issue. I don't want to have my guests subjected to a pressurized system, right? So this is the airlock and stuff that I already have set up here at the chicken hole base. Yeah, so this is the inside of the camper. It's roughly the same as what it actually is, but obviously the scale's off. I was trying to do it 1 foot is one of these squares. And so in terms of feet, it's the right size, at least in this dimension, not exactly this way. But that ended up being like absurdly large for Minecraft. So the rest of the base is not quite like that. And in fact, speaking of which, let's head on in there. So this over here is the pressurized portion of the base. So you'd pressurize this airlock, so you could go in through here. Close those behind you. So this portion of the base is pressurized. This is the main hub area. The plants that are in here will probably be like decorative, nice flowers, have a water feature. This is the first place that people see when they come in, right? The amount that the base will be pressurized is probably not a lot. I originally wanted to go 2.5 psi, the same as you would have for a Mars base. And that's why most of the habitats are made of this thick plastic material. But the tunnels, the walkways between them, in order to do this cheaply enough that I could actually do it, I would have to use a thinner material. And so I've decided that the base will be pressurized, but the main hab pressure will probably be like 0.1 psi, if that, probably less. It'll be just enough that if you open a door, you'll feel a breeze, or it might be like hard to open a door, but you can still open a door to the outside, right? It'll be just a little bit of internal pressure here. But some parts of the base will be pressurized more, or at least be able to be, like the kitchen. Let's come on in here. So I actually just bought the tank for this. Thick steel, so it can handle a lot of pressure. I should be able to pressurize it to at least 30 psi, although I'll probably never go more than 5 psi. Now, why do I want the kitchen to be under higher pressure? Well, if you're on Mars and the habitat's at 2.5 psi, and you try to put potatoes in a pot of water and boil it, hang on a second. The water will be boiling at such a low temperature that the potatoes will never cook. That's the classic problem they had the top of the Andes. They couldn't boil potatoes. The explorers would say, oh, our pot is cursed, it won't boil potatoes. No, it's because you're at such a high altitude. Now, if you're in a Mars base, the outside is near vacuum and the inside of the base is only 2.5 psi, which is about the minimum that a human needs, assuming it's pure oxygen, then you can't cook things. But if you had a portion of the base that could be pressurized to more, then you could cook things. Like this part of the base could be pressurized to a full atmosphere pressure, you know, the 15 psi above the ambient pressure. Then you could cook your food. Now, of course, in an actual Mars base, this amount of steel, I think the tank I bought was 8,000 pounds. It's probably overkill. You don't want to ship that to Mars unless you could build it on Mars. Maybe you could do it then, but for the actual Mars base, you'll probably have like a pressure cooking pot to cook food in, or maybe even a pressurized oven, but certainly not a whole room. But I want to be able to stir my food as it cooks. And I've always wanted a pressurized kitchen to be able to play with the pressure in here. Well, it's, you know, for making candy and stuff, you know, the pressure really matters. So I want to be able to play with it. So something I always wanted, we're going to have a pressurized kitchen here at the Chicken Hole base. So anyway, this guy just went into the washroom. So this is an area that'll have a shower and a tub, washing machine to clean clothes, that sort of thing. And also this is, see this tube that comes down the hill? Dry air will be coming out of that. So this will be the, you know, since there'll be so much moisture here, this will be able to dry out their clothing and such, so the moisture doesn't build up too high in this area. And these doors, I'm saying, are able to let air through them. So like might have like a screened portion. These doors are sealed, so they'll seal and be able to hold pressure, but these doors are just, you know, for privacy, that sort of thing. So let's go into the living area. So this here is the portion where it's going underground. I'll have some storage here. I might have additional rooms for storage, or maybe, you know, this could be anything. Over here I've got a room with artificial lighting and some plants if I need to grow underground. Yeah, the whole idea is that, you know, if I'm digging into the hillside, I can make as many rooms as I want. So this area here is the living room. Be able to sit down and have meals, you know, relax on a couch, maybe watch the television or whatever. Over here is the bedrooms. I can hear a cat. Where is he? There he is. So there's Molly. Talk about these doors here. So yeah, so got sleeping area. There's the master bedroom where Molly's hanging out. Some storage out here. This would be like another bedroom. Now you can see I've labeled this here. You'll notice there's a door leading out. That's the emergency exit. This is also for air vents, so air will come in through this door and out through this door and keep things ventilated here. But if there's like a fire or something out there and you can't go this way, then you can go this way. All right, so it's just an alternate exit. So these doors here are for controlling airflow. You know, you could close these and direct more air this way, open these, close these, and direct the air straight through this way. You know, whatever's most comfortable for the habitats of the people who are living here. So here's the rear exit, emergency exit. You can come up a ladder, open a trap door, open this, and you'd be outside, right? So that's how you'd escape a fire. And once again, these doors can be opened when the base is pressurized. You'd probably have to put your weight into it and force it, but it'll open, right? The base isn't going to be pressurized that much. So anyway, let's head back down here. We'll go back up there in a minute, but we'll go the other way. So let's head out that direction. So I'll come out back through here. Yeah, I've got some NPCs here helping me test things out. They are very annoying. So here's the main greenhouse tunnel, again with the doors that can let air through. Now alongside of this tunnel, I want to have buckets with water going into them, basically a hydroponic grow system, just like the garden setup I had back in 2016 with all the buckets. You'll be able to grow plants in these, so I'll have like tomato plants and maybe corn and whatever growing alongside of here. You probably have to be pushing plants out of the way as you come through here. This is the Mark II greenhouse that I was working on in the last episode of Chicken Hole Base. You can see I've got a little guy in here working the crops for me. Yep. So just directly opposite it. Now this may not be actually here, but there will be something across the way from it. You see, you want to balance things because there'll be pressure pushing on one side of the wall and then not another. That'll cause an imbalance and a net force. So you want to balance that by having the modules opposite each other on the tunnel here. So there'll be something here. Right now I've got it set as the shroom room. So this here, I'll have blocks of straw, bags full of the mycelium incubating over here where it's dark. And then when I want them to fruit and produce the mushroom fruiting bodies, I'll bring them out here into the light. The light triggers the fruiting. I'll be able to fruit the mushrooms and pick them, etc. It's another way to recycle food from the plant matter that I can't eat. So let's close that and head off this way, past this guy. Here's the Mark I green hab, the one that I've been working on that I kind of delayed construction on. Oh, that's how you guys are getting out. So yeah, I've got here's the airlock for this one. Place to put a spacesuit again. You come out here. So this is the side airlock. Apparently these guys are walking in and out of it. You can't do that if you're not wearing a EVA suit. So anyway, like I said, the things need to be placed opposite each other. There'll probably be something over here. I'm not sure what it would be yet, so I haven't added it. So this here is the chicken coop and composters. So this is where the waste will be recycled. Plant matter that I can't use for the mushrooms, chicken droppings that I scoop out of here would go into this, the human waste, the composted and turned into soil. And of course I can come over here to the, tend to the chickens, right? So this will be where they roost. I'll be able to get in here and clean things out, maybe have some places for them to lay eggs, and they'll gather the eggs. And they'll have their own little airlock. If I can train them to go in and out of it, of course. This might just be open. Come over here. Now, one thing I'll mention about this portion of the base is this is going to be normally sealed because these are going to be producing CO2. The chickens I don't want to be trapped inside of a sealed chamber anyway, so they'll have fresh air just coming in from the outside. This here, the CO2 produced from this, I don't want to have it going into the base unregulated. So I'll probably just have air circulating in and out of here from the outside. I would like to be able to take the CO2 and put it into the greenhouse, but I also want to be able to control the amount that goes in. Because I don't want these to just suddenly produce a lot of CO2 and then, gas me out if I'm in here. Right? We need the CO2 to grow the plants, but we need the CO2 to not get up to levels which could cause me to be suffocated. So over here, I've got the fish pond. So a lot of this will be aquaponic growing. So here's the fish. They'll be down at the bottom, so the water that comes through the plants will go into here. The fish will be living in it, so they'll produce waste, and that'll get recycled, and the plants will be able to absorb the nutrients. This will probably be a lot bigger than what I've got depicted here, but just something to give you an idea. And this will also serve as thermal mass for the rest of the habitat to regulate the temperature. So come out of here and go down so the tunnel turns. Also, you have to have something off the side here to balance when you've got a turn like this. So you don't have net forces trying to tear the structure apart. So this here is the banana tower, the tallest portion of the base. This is the greenhouse, which I can grow a full-size banana tree in. I actually just bought this tank. It is huge. This is actually how big it is. It's like 16 feet tall and 10 feet in diameter. And the hope is to be able to actually grow bananas. I'll be able to grow other things as well. And of course, have a place for bees to hang out and pollinate things. I have a ladder that I can use to climb up to harvest the fruit, you know. So let's head back over here. So here's the workshop. This is also made out of heavy steel, not because it'll be pressurized more than the rest of the base, but because of the fact that steel is not flammable. So if there's a fire in here, it's not going to take down the rest of the habitat. And also this will be able to be locked. You know, it's really sturdy, so if I got a bunch of expensive tools in here, somebody just can't come and steal them, right? So here's the rear airlock, if I can get through this door, right? And this one, the doors should be larger than the other doors for the airlocks, because I want to be able to drive a four-wheeler or other small rover-like machine in here and be able to work on it in a pressurized environment, right? That's something that'll be really valuable to do on Mars, so you don't have to wear a spacesuit while you're working on your vehicle. Also have maybe like a little carport here so you can work on something in the shade. And over here is the large gas regulator. So this is a gasometer, I think is what they called them. So it's basically a large tank floating in another tank, so it has a volume of air. Let's actually go in here, right? So this will be the air connected to the rest of the habitat, and like when the sun comes out behind a cloud and it causes the greenhouses to heat up, the air will expand. This will rise, taking up the excess volume, keeping the pressure the same. And the pressure of the habitat will be just enough to cause this tank to lift up out of the water. The small gas regulator, which I have over here for the number 1 green hab, this one will be used for higher pressure, so the full 2.5 psi. So there'll be a lot of weight on top of this, so it's not just the weight of the plastic, it'll also have bags of sand holding it down, providing the pressure. Because this one I'll want to be able to pressurize to more as well, just to test out the science. Anyway, let's actually I'm already over here. Let's go in here. My NPCs keep leaving the doors open. And let's go up to the top of the base. So another thing, when the sun is heating the greenhouses, moisture is going to be evaporating from the plants. The air in here is going to be getting warm. That's going to cause the air to be buoyant, and it's going to want to float up high. And so this portion of the habitat goes uphill, and so the air is going to be able to rise. So there'll be wind blowing in the direction that I'm traveling right now. Probably not a very strong wind, but it'll definitely be moving air up the hill here. And before I forget, these tunnels going off to the side, these here are basically greenhouses, but they're really short, only tall enough for the plants. So like for strawberries, maybe wheat, other low plants that I need to grow a lot of square footage, but I don't need to grow them in a room big enough for me to stand in. So there'll just be a lot of tubes here, and I'll have like little plastic trays full of dirt and the plants that I can like run in here, and then have like a cable that pulls them back out when I want to harvest them, you know. So that's going to be a significant portion of the growing area, is just these low tunnels that come off the side of this main walkway tunnel. That's so the greenhouse doesn't have to be this high for that square area. That just decreases the amount of volume that I have to pressurize, right? So here's the trapdoor that we came out before. There's okay, hello. Right. There's also a way for air to go this way. The air could also go down through this way, so the trapdoor can let air through, so the air can come up here and then down. In fact, I should have this connected to this tube over there. Anyway, yeah, the base still needs some work. Anyway, I come up to the top here. So during the summer when it's hot and you want to keep the plants cool, you want to open this door here so the air can go up the rest of the way up to the top of the mountain. During the winter, you'd want it to just circulate down lower so it can keep things warm. But this up here is where the hot air would go when you want to cool it. And this also, the height that it gets here creates a lot more pressure so that the air velocity is higher. So this is the air cooler. Got a bunch of, these are chains here, but imagine these are radiators with water being pumped through them, and that's causing the air to be cooled. And then the cooled air condenses water, the water's recycled, you sent down to a holding tank, and then the air, now cooler and drier, goes down this tube back down into connects down to the washroom we were in before. And over here on the other side is a big tank of water. This is for thermal mass, and also to transmit the thermal energy. And over there on the far side of it, I'm going to have some radiators over there in the shade to reject the heat out into the air. So that's how we transmit the heat from the greenhouses into the radiators here, and then out the radiators there. And this here, up to the top of the mountain, is the observatory. So I'll have like a little pseudo airlock here just to keep moisture from getting up here. I'll have a telescope set up inside of a dome. I'll probably have like the telescope looking through a clear window, like how I've got it set up here. And then you'll be able to just, observe the stars, have this rotate or whatever. Maybe even be able to point it down to look down into the valley and such. Yeah, so let's bust our way out. So there's the observatory. This is up on top of the hill. You'll notice I don't have the terrain built up. The terraforming this was a lot of work, and I just couldn't be asked to finish it. Hopefully it's enough to you get an idea. So yeah, there's the tour of the base. It's probably stuff I've forgotten to mention, but there it is. Of course, I haven't done the storage area or the industrial area yet. I want to have a place for running a brick kiln over here, and of course the storage over there. You can see the paths where you can drive the vehicle up and around. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping the base looks like, or at least similar to this in the next few years. I now have all of the pieces. I just need to get them put together. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.